All right, here we go. BDX the Don, welcome back.
Great to be back, man. What's going on?
It's been dope, man. It's been dope. It's been a good day so far, and for the people who haven't tuned in or the people watching for the first time, so BDX the Don is a rapper and musician from the DMV area who is also known for being an auditionist for rhythm and flow as well. Although he didn't make it like to other rounds, he did manage to work hard and even do successfully and work with a lot of unique artists so far, especially one artist by the name of Beau Young Prince,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Beau Young Prince, man. Coming to America too. Shout out my man.
True. And you recently just dropped your first, not your first project, but like your latest project, Expensive Taste. And I really want to dig into that. I've been like listening to like songs before too, and I could definitely say like some of my favorite songs on there would be like Cabo, Fly, Perfect Timing, Needed, and like even like Situations too, and like even the 518 freestyle. Like those are like very dope tracks that show like a lot of growth and a lot of improvement as different to King of Hearts and all that.
Right. Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. I really do, man. I definitely had a vision behind this one, man, more so than my other projects. My other projects is me just, having fun in the studio, but this one here means a lot more to me because, I took my time with it, and just made it the way I wanted it to be, no matter how long it took. So.
No doubt. And what was like the creative process and the inspiration beyond this new project? Was it something like different that you had like as opposed to like King of Hearts and all that?
Right. So I think the year that we just went through, bro, like, I think my perspective on the world like changed drastically. You know what I mean? Like being isolated. And I was writing this project even before like coronavirus hit, you know what I'm saying? October 2019. But my perspective just changed, moving down here to Texas, dealing with a whole bunch of different people, that's not from the DMV. People have different mindsets and they kind of influence me to think different and see the world different. So I wanted to relate to my audience more so than being that 21-year-old, 22-year-old kid that was just living abnormally, I wanted to actually relate to people on another level on this project. And that was my biggest goal, was to give the listeners like the best listening experience possible. And it's called Expensive Taste because I know that's what everybody likes. Everybody has expensive taste, even if they can't necessarily afford it, or everybody likes luxury. Who we kidding here? You know what I'm saying? Everybody likes luxury. So, we wanted to represent the steak and lobster of rap. We wanted to just relate to everybody. So I feel like I was more vulnerable. I spoke on more situations that could be universal, that any person could relate to, more so than, partying and being on the top floor of hotels and stuff, which I feel like most of my old material was. It's like this one is more vulnerable. So that's the creative process. And shout out to Jay-Z, man, Jigga, because that song, Who You With Too, man, that whole song just inspired me in general. Like I envision first class flights, you know what I'm saying, models, like all types of stuff, just luxury. So I definitely wanted to do that with this one. And I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Thank you.
No doubt. And, I've noticed even like with a lot of stuff too on this project, you're working with someone who is also like signed to like a major like record deal, with Beau Young Prince, and, you worked with him on Fly. So tell me how you managed to work with someone like Beau Young Prince, and what was working with like a signed artist like him, like, since I know like he's like signed to like I think Def Jam, I think so.
Yeah. Oh man, that is crazy, man, how me and Beau like even linked up in the first place, bro. So shout out to Gemstar Pro. Shout out my man Carl. That's the studio I go to, man. And I've been working with him since I was like 15 years old, man. So he's seen me pretty much grow into what I am now. And I recorded damn near all my songs with Carl. So pretty much like we had this song called Fly. you know, of course, and we had an open verse. And my team and I, shout out Drew, my team and I, we were trying to figure out, hey, who could sound the best on this song, man? Because we need, like, we're gonna shoot for the stars with this one. We're gonna invest in this song. We feel like it's nice, feel like it's a hit. We need like a major feature on here. Like, who do we want on there? So we kind of threw some ideas back and forth, and then finally, like, we came across what made the most sense and was what the best option was, man. And Beau Young Prince. I love his music, man. I love this music. I think he's a dope guy. I think he's a great guy. You know what I'm saying? It just made sense. He's from the DMV. It just made the most sense. You know what I'm saying? So I said, hey, let's make it happen. And then it turns out he actually records at the same studio that I record at. So I reached out to Carl, and I'm like, yo, Carl, what's up with BYP, man? Like, I'm trying to get him on fly. Like, what's up? And then Carl, he made it happen, man. He was like, oh, yeah, easy money. I think he would be perfect for the song. And he sent it to Beau. You know what I'm saying? Beau Young Prince reached out to me, and I got his email. We reached out to him, and we just kind of went back and forth and made it happen. And he's a great guy, man. And we need more artists like him in the world because, like, he's willing to share his knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in the game deep. He's doing all types of stuff. He got these sponsorships. You know what I'm saying? He's doing these soundtracks, bro. Like, he's going major. He's getting platinum hits. So it's like he's willing to talk with me, you know, kind of give me game too. You know what I'm saying? So I have a direction to go into. And, you know, and I appreciate him. It's a hell of an experience, man. And shooting a video for Fly, man, it was a great experience. You can ask anybody that was there. They had a great time. It was a vibe. So, like I said, we locked in, and hopefully we can get some more music out, man. You know, but that's my boy right there. That's my brother.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And honestly, too, like, I haven't seen the video yet, but like with the song too, like it matches like perfectly just with the style and everything too. And, you know, as you said, you talked about more on getting like advice, you know, from certain people like that. So what advice did like Beau Young Prince like really like give to you, like in that sense too, during that time?
Oh man, Beau Young Prince, he told me, man, he's performed in crowds of thousands of people, man. You know what I'm saying? So a guy like me, that's pretty big, you know? So, I mean, he told me, he was like, hey, if you open it up for somebody, you know, they don't know who you are, what gets them moving is that Afro beats. You know what I'm saying? So perform an Afro beat song, and shout out to Sneaky Link. That's the big Afro beat song on there. But he was pretty much telling me how to get the crowd moving, man, and engage with the audience. You know what I'm saying? And just learn the music business as in general, you know, because we independent, man. So we got to learn, we got to know the business. Otherwise, we're going to be running in circles. So he's big on that. We still working on some things. He told me about sync licensing, you know, like licensing my music out to be played in like movies and TV shows and all that stuff, man. So he put me on a lot of game, even with these sponsorships, bro. Like me and my man we've been locked in, and we've been just talking, and he's giving me a lot of game. You know, shout out to Beau, man. He's such a great guy. But yeah, that's pretty much what he's telling me, man.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And you know, one big thing too is that you also got played on like a big like radio station, like in like I think DC. Like I know that you were trying to get people to get your song played like on one of like the biggest like, hip hop stations in DC. So and like they played your song I think at like 8 p.m. on that specific day. So tell me more about that experience and how did you feel like getting your song out there like in that sense, you know?
Being on 93.9, easily a dream come true. You know what I'm saying? Especially listening to it since a kid. I mean, that's what you're growing up on, hearing 93.9. They playing the hits all the time. They play DC classics. You know, they're all about the culture. So being actually on that radio station was just mind blowing. It was an out of body experience. It didn't feel real. You know what I'm saying? My bad, it went on 10%. But
Yeah,
like I was saying, man, it's an out of body experience. You know, it was nice for them to have me. I know a lot of people are submitting to them every day. You know what I'm saying? Hundreds and probably thousands of people are submitting music to them every day. So the fact that my song was singled out with Beau Young Prince in Fly, I think that was big to me. And it meant a lot. It let me know that it was something special, that this project was going to be something special, you know? So shout out to Bacon Bear. Shout out Malcolm X and that whole team up there, man. Rest in peace. My man DJ Reds, you know. And it was just a great experience, like I was saying, man. But even though we lost, like that, the competition they was having, that versus competition, it was still great to be on there in general. So, like I said, it's still a win-win scenario.
Doubt. And like with this platform too, like we talk like a lot about like a lot of various topics, and even like serious matters in some cases too. And I think one thing about you that I have noticed is that you have a good sense of like attaining like women's attention to you, and like it's something that it's really like regarded in life, that you see in order, for dating, for good dating, for just everything like marriage, hookups, all that type of stuff too. So with that good sense, what were like some practices or ways you did to gain any woman's attention to you, like in a sense?
I would say the biggest thing, well, first and foremost, man, women are like the greatest thing that God created, first of all, because they notice everything, bro. Like, they notice everything. Like, I could post a picture and it'd be a good picture, bro, like a nice picture, but they notice that my ears are dirty, though. You feel me? Like, they like they picture they see the small things. So it's the small things that matter. It's how you carry yourself, man. You got to have confidence in yourself, man. You got to be able to put your chest out. Don't be cocky with it, but just believe in yourself. Believe that you too can be able to talk to this woman, and just self-love, bro. I mean, that's how you're gonna get a woman's attention, bro. You gotta have a nice aroma to you, get some nice cologne, you know what I'm saying? Stay groomed, nice and groomed, you know what I'm saying? Put your swag on your outfits, all that stuff, bro, and just, talk to them. Talk to them like another human being. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to hit them with no corny shit. No, because they notice that type of stuff. They notice if you clean up nice. People notice when you clean up. Take your style seriously, bro. Like, invest in yourself. Love yourself. Get manicures. Get pedicures. You know what I'm saying? Like, do all that stuff. And guys even if guys are calling you, saying all types of names and saying, oh, that nigga, he you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that pretty nigga, you can take care of yourself, bro. Like, like, for real, like, self-love. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. So, I mean, trust me, it'll pay off, fellas. It'll pay off.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think, nowadays too, like, in America and like I think everywhere around the world too, like in this modern day, you see like more like relationships pop out, you see other stuff, you see some people going that are more like now single. And it's even like very like evident, like in the Black community too, so like in this modern time that we're at right now, like how do you feel about the whole like dating hookup scene for like the young adult like Black demographic nowadays? And do you feel like there's like high expectations from either like gender, or do you think it's like very like low? Do you think there's like very like low expectations for dating or hooking up nowadays?
I mean, it really just depends on the person, and it really depends on the scenario. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, man, it's a bunch of digital dating going on. It's a lot of guys out here hunting. It's a lot of women that's doing the same. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that have low expectations. They have low expectations, and they don't really set the bar high necessarily. But it's people that set the bar high as well. High maintenance people. It's people that know their worth. I mean, it's a whole ball game with that type of stuff. So, I mean, it really just depends on the person and the scenario, man. I mean, if you just looking to, go out there and just find somebody for the night, man. I mean, that's where your mind is at for the night, I mean, you're gonna go out there, you're not necessarily gonna find a wife. I mean, you're gonna get whatever you can. I mean, there's some guys that's like that, And I say it's both ways, for real. I don't think it's really a majority for either or. I mean, I think everybody has their own intentions. I think the challenge is figuring out another person's intentions. I think that's the biggest thing nowadays. You just never know what somebody's trying to do, So, I mean, I tell them from the jump, bro, whether it's high maintenance or low maintenance. Either way, man, you just gotta let them know what's up from the jump. So nobody's confused in the end. Nobody is fucked up in the head.
Yeah. No doubt. And also it kind of like depends, from like city to city, region to region, cultures, because a dating scene or something like that, like in Miami, might be different than a dating scene in like Atlanta, and then
Right.
a hookup scene in like New York might be different from like a hookup scene in Cali, because you don't know like what are the expectations, because in some expectations it could be like very high expectations, like dressing to the top, like having all these things, having like credit, like 401k, like credit, good pensions, good jobs, all that type of stuff. And then you could have low expectations, like, hey, if you could simp for me, or you could do like all this other type of stuff too, like I'm down with that. Or if you just want like a quick, fucking all that, like that's just kind of the way it is, So yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And like even like you said before too in the past interview, you've been to like different cities where you've met up with like different like women and like different
Right.
people like all around too. So I guess, just how would you explain that experience, just even like going from different city to city, even dealing with the cultures and expectations from those certain people and all that.
I could personally say it's been a hell of an experience being able to go place to place. I've been to Florida, Texas, and there's a lot of traits for men and women that are out there that are alike. I mean, the only thing that's different is the area, but every area is unique, man. You know what I'm saying? And I have love for all of them places that I lived in at least one part of my life. So I mean, it's all about the cultures, bro. When you go somewhere, you want to experience their culture. You want to see what they're about. You want to leave like, damn, they do blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Or they do blah blah blah. Like, you want to just have that experience and just kind of put yourself in get yourself out your comfort zone. I mean, just experience things and meet people. And just enjoy the time that you have out there. I met a lot of great people going to different cities, and a lot of people that actually have pushed my career to where it is now, like support systems and networks, stuff like that. Like, one region might not necessarily show as much love as much as another region might, like Texas, they show love, man. The South shows love. Maryland shows love. I mean, everybody shows love, man, but there's a lot of opportunities in different areas. And as far as the women meeting women, man, I mean, all women are beautiful to me inside and out. I mean, different cities have different people, you know what I'm saying, that get down a different way. So I mean, it's been a hell of a ride, man. I met a lot of people and had a hell of a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. And have you used this app called Clubhouse before? Like, about like the app like so far, right?
Oh yeah.
So do you feel like it's a great resource to use to learn from others? And if you had like used Clubhouse, did you had like any like other experiences like using that app? Like were you like in many sessions? Did you learn from like other people like in the game and all that?
Yeah, man. I've learned a lot, and I've actually created a lot of opportunity. Just shout out to Drew, man, because Drew put me on to Clubhouse and invited me in the first place. So he kind of told me what it was, and I thought it was great. I thought it sounded great. I thought it was a hell of a tool to use for networking. You know what I'm saying? And getting free game. I mean, you just got to take the time out of your day to do that, So, I mean, just like any social media site, I mean, it's all about how you use it. Because I know they got them little hot seat rooms and them sex rooms and shit like that too on there. So, I mean, if you in there, I mean, that's by all means, be in there. That's your prerogative. But I'm on there to get that free game and like pitch my song to these radio guys and pitch my songs to these, curators and all of that, man. Like, it's all about how you utilize these things which is going to determine like how far ahead you go. You got to make stuff happen. I mean, it's a really great app. I don't even know if they're still using it or not as heavy as they were like 2 months ago, but I haven't really been on it recently. But if I can, man, I hop on there. I'll see what type of rooms they have going on. And I love Clubhouse. One mic, let that man talk.
Yeah, no doubt. Who do you think set the bar high for Clubhouse? Do you feel like Joe Budden like might have set that bar high, or do you think it's like other people, like like with Kevin Samuels and Kevin Samuels, or like who else? I don't know who else used. I think maybe Meek, and then also the Game. But, like, who do you think might, like, out of all these other people, who do you think set the bar high for Clubhouse to be as like big as ever in a sense?
Now I can't give it to just one person, man. I would have to say it has to be at least a collaboration of all them guys together. You know what I mean? To bring all them different fan bases, and then the word of mouth just spreads. And it's easier for you to hop on something when people are already doing it than it is to be the first person to try it out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've noticed about people. They gravitate towards things that are already happening more so than trying to start a trend themselves. So, I feel like that's just what happened. Like, those big name people are like the people that set the bar, you know what I mean? Like Meek Mills and Joe Buddens. Those are the people that say it's cool to use this. And then everybody's like, okay, all right, say no more. Let's give it a try. And if it's actually a quality product, then that's how you keep the people, if it's quality. And that's with anything, music, art, anything. If it's quality, people are going to stay and they're going to want more. So the more people think it's quality, the more people you get, because they're going to be wondering what the hell is so good about it. So they're going to give it a try and they're going to think it's quality too. So that's how it just happens so fast, though. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. And I've seen like some of these like Clubhouse like clips so far, like not like on the Clubhouse app, but like on YouTube. And I've been hearing, like how certain people talk about like buying art. Some people are talking about, getting into tech. Some people are getting into like, relationship type stuff. Kevin Samuels, he's just like spitting game on like what men should do to attain a woman, like what's the problem with like dating nowadays too. And then you have Meek and like Joe Budden explaining like their process in the music business too. So, and then like even like one notable thing that I have noticed on Clubhouse was Game bringing Bobby Shmurda out, like once he was like released from prison, on Clubhouse, and then
right,
that was like a big vibe too, because nowadays a lot of these people, like you could go into like any room and experience like a different like asset, a different culture either way too. And
right.
it's pretty interesting too, like even like during this time. And I want to get to like this next question too. So I think once we finished the first interview, like that was when COVID like started, like in that sense, so like,
Exactly.
and like even with COVID-19, we didn't really talk about it. We didn't really even talk about it at all. It literally like happened after our first interview. So since like that whole COVID-19 crisis in that sense too, did you feel like it has affected you in a way, in the way you tend to like proceed with your business? And since then, did you have to like change or adjust to a certain standard to handle your business in a pandemic like this?
COVID definitely stopped a lot of things from happening, as far as like live shows and working with these promoters and getting these gigs and stuff like that. And an aspect of dealing with like people and on that side of the music business and like festivals and South by Southwest and all that type of stuff, like that was stopped. You know what I mean? But as far as like creativity and networking from my phone and everything, like, still coming up with new things, I wouldn't say it necessarily stopped. I think that's where Expensive Taste kind of, succeeded as well. I got it done because I was isolated, I was just in the house, had a lot of time on my hands, man. So I just started creating. There was no excuse at that point. What was the excuse? There was no excuse at all. I had to create. Everybody else that I know is a creative, they were still creating. So what was holding me back? I'm in the house. Like even if I got writer's block, I'm trying to push past it, man. So I've been working and just creating, man. But as far as like making moves with these promoters and doing events and all that type of stuff, I mean, yeah, it did put a pause on that, but it looks like the future is brighter, you know, because we got these vaccines and all that stuff. So it looks like the world is gonna be restored in like the next year and some change maybe. So we'll be right back on that. There's no sweat. You know, I'm trying to get as much content as possible for when that happens, you know, and I'm just trying to keep creating, man. That's all that we can't let this pandemic stop us.
Yeah, no doubt. And you know, I've noticed it took a toll like on a lot for like all these other artists too. And you know, like even with these other artists like in the game, you know, like they had to resort to like other things too, you know, such as like doing the versus battles, doing, you know, like the Triller type stuff, doing like live shows, and you know, in other cases too, like OnlyFans and like all this other type of stuff too. And in your perspective, have you noticed how other rappers are doing certain things, you know, like adjusting or changing the way they had to handle like their business as well? And do you feel like they're also as affected like as people that you may know as well, you know?
I've actually noticed like, and that goes back to like Clubhouse, stuff like that. Like, I mean, these are resources that we needed in this pandemic for people to keep eating, you know, and to keep their brand going, you know, and to be able to, you know, keep their fans engaged. I think it's all about fan engagement. Imagine not doing anything at all for 2 years or a year and a half. You know what I mean? Then you there's no guarantee you're gonna have all your fans still. I mean, so these guys are using their resources to the best of their advantage, you know? That's what I've been noticing. I mean, guys have been on Clubhouse talking about the rap business and the music industry, talking about how they came up, you know, they're shooting videos from their homes, stuff like that. They're just trying to put out content as well, you know? I mean, these guys are trying to keep their brand going. I mean, nobody can let this pandemic stop them. I mean, I understand it 100%. I see guys on Twitch freestyling on video games and stuff like that. Guys getting creative, man. This is the most creative I think we've been as a people, you know, because we were forced to find other ways. We were forced to keep eating, forced to survive, you know. So it's actually, I could commend a lot of guys for getting out their comfort zones. I mean, I know it's a lot of guys that don't like online, you know, but everybody's been adapting to it very well and doing what they got to do, man. And OnlyFans, bro. I mean, a lot of people get that shit flack, but you know, people are doing what they got to do, man. Like they just trying to eat like the next man. I mean, it's a bunch of guys on SoundCloud that feel a way about it, you know, because they feel like OnlyFans women just come in the game and take all the shine, man. But everybody got to eat. Yeah. So it's good to see everybody, you know, still hustling and not letting this thing slow them down.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And, you know, it's been apparent too, like now, like concerts are sort of climbing back, like in the States. Like, I don't know if it's the same for me in Canada, but I know that in Florida and like Texas, you know, they've been having, and even like Georgia too, you know, like they've been having like these club appearances from like all the hottest artists like in the game, you know, Coi Leray, Pooh Shiesty, Dirk, Baby, and then, you know, some people like even like California too, like they're now opening up concerts. So do you feel like in even like where you're at right now, like even with Texas and like even with the DMV, like with that, are they trying their best to like get the concerts back in a sense too, for people to perform, do like whatever they had to do and all that?
In the DMV area?
Well, DMV and Texas. So.
Oh, and Texas. Well, Texas recently just opened 100%, and they're giving people the option to not wear a mask at all. You know what I mean? And certain businesses, stuff like that, don't necessarily follow those laws because they still have the option, of course. So it's been good to see people still wearing their masks, stuff like that, taking it serious because we all want to get out of this. But I mean, it's looking like South by Southwest 2022. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a thing. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen, like for sure. I'm pretty sure ACL is going to happen. in September, October. I'm pretty sure of it, you know? I mean, I feel like us as a people, we feel better about the pandemic at this moment in time than we've had ever. You know what I mean? Like now we have these vaccines and now we have all these alternatives. Now we don't have to stay in the house no more. We don't have to quarantine no more necessarily, unless we choose to at this point. So I feel like they are going to start trying to get things moving, you know? And people are still doing events, man. People are still having album release parties. People are still, you know, having little concerts and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure that, I mean, that's the direction we're moving in, man. By the time summer's over, if they don't start in the summer, they'll definitely be starting by fall. Yeah. At least in Texas. But the DMV, I know DMV is kind of a little slower than Texas is right now. But in probably like the next 6 months, 7 months, the DMV area will probably be back on. And I've been seeing like go-go bands, you know, shout out go-go, man. I've been seeing go-go bands riding in the streets and stuff, doing performances and all that. So, I mean, they doing it too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's at a point where they just like, hey, we found a way around it a little bit, you know? So.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I know for me, like right now in Ontario, like we're in a shutdown too. So like Ontario, like in Canada, it's already like in a shutdown. They imposed like a stay-at-home order. So right now it's just kind of like bad right now for us too. But I think because nowadays too, I think a lot of people like now, you know, they just want to do whatever they want because they've been seeing America, like people in America doing stuff like this. So they would want to do it too. But then we also had rising cases, like ICU cases, and you know, with the hospitals too, like being at hotspot areas like around Ontario. So it's just kind of bad right now too. But like enough with the whole like pandemic talk. Just have like these last two questions like right now. So in terms of you being like an artist, do you feel that you have grown as an artist from the time till you started up until like now with Expensive Taste, or do you feel like there needs to be like more time to be at a certain level that you feel like you're at your greatest and all that?
Man, if only y'all could have heard my first song ever. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, it's definitely been a crazy journey, man. You know, and I feel like I've grown so much, even from 2019. You know what I'm saying? So I dropped my first project in like 2017, bro. So I mean, I've grown tremendously from then. Like I was a boy trying to find his place in the world back then. And I just thought life was all about like the most expensive bottles or the baddest women, you know, or the best hotel room in the whole city. Like that's what I thought life was about, personally. But it's like the older I got and the more I experienced, you know, it just evolved. I evolved, you know, and it shows in my music. Each project, I just kept getting better and better. Each video, I just kept getting better and better, you know, and not even to toot my own horn or nothing, but that's just for me. Like looking back and reflecting on my own life as an individual, you know, I'm like, wow, that's really how I started. And just to be able to see like the progress is just crazy, bro. And I'm obsessed with evolutions, man. Art is evolution. Like I'm obsessed. So, I mean, it's just humbling to see. And, you know, I'm at this point now where I'm making music that I want to make, you know, and I want to be able to relate to an audience. I want to be able to relate to people. And, you know, I've grown a lot, man. And I've loved what I became. I became more patient. Like Expensive Taste took 1.5 years to write. So, I mean, that alone says a lot about my growth as well, because I wasn't patient. My first project, I wanted everything right then and there. I wanted to drop a video and get a million in the same day. Like unreal stuff, you know what I mean? But
yeah, definitely know what you mean too. I could definitely see the same with me as like a journalist, interviewer, and like content creator too, because before, you know, like I would start off just by doing like write-ups and just, meeting up with people and like doing photography on the side too until, when COVID hit, I had to expand like the platform too. So it would be either with me doing like in-person like interviews with my camera and like just uploading on YouTube, to even doing like Zoom and like Skype interviews as well too. So it's just kind of like learning how to expand and learning to grow within like different audiences too, like even like just dealing with other people. Like I know with me, like I try my best to have whoever can be on this platform, regardless of any like race, creed, gender, beliefs, sexuality. It's just more of a discussion to describe who you are and like the successes and like the trials and tribulations that you've overcame, and like the advice that you also like give to in that sense. So you definitely know what I mean, right?
Oh yeah, 100%, man. That's a beautiful thing, man. Congratulations, man. Like, you doing your thing, man. Like,
Yeah.
It's not going unnoticed, man.
Yeah, for real, bro. Like same to you too. And just to wrap up in that sense too, like I know like you already like had given like advice in like the last interview too, like for any like up and coming artists. But if you have like any other highlights, like if you have like any other like music coming up or videos or any other like things going on, just stated like in the like stated like right here and such.
Right. And I like to look at this as the expensive taste era. So I think this year will pretty much, I got a couple videos dedicated to that album, a couple more songs that we're making videos for. I already have some ready, but they're ready, man. They're coming. These videos are coming, man. So more content. The album's out now. I'm probably focus on some other things, maybe some skits, some short films, stuff like that, and just looking at how we can make this thing bigger and how we can take it to the next level. I mean, that's the biggest thing. And we're going to make sure everybody is documented. We're going to make sure it's documented. We're going to make sure everybody's going to be able to lay eyes on it, on the progression. So big moves coming soon. My team and I are working on it as we speak, man. And by the end of the year, we should be where we want to.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. BDX the Don, thank you for coming by, and as well for people viewing this, you could also like if it's posted, you could check out like the first interview like in the description box on YouTube. Like definitely check it out, read it, and yeah. As well with BDX, thank you, and thank you for coming by, speaking on your piece, and just saying your stuff, and I'd like to like say, I don't know, I'd just say like until next time, like in that sense,
Yes, sir. Hey man, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me. It's been two good interviews, man. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure being on your outlet, and yeah, until next time, man.
Yeah, till next time.